Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Beautiful day here on Drouillard Road, and we got so many folks here who've joined us, and thank you to the families behind us who brought their kids out to play on the playground. What a great day in the city of Windsor. And you know, today we're here to announce more great news, and certainly to celebrate the many improvements that Council, specifically Councillor Ed Sleiman, has funded to enhance and beautify this wonderful park, Garry Dugal Park. First, I'd like to take a moment to recognize and applaud the renewal that Ford City has experienced in the past few years. And everywhere you look, there are signs of this improvement, and it seems like every few meters, there's a trendy new business that's moved in and renovated some sort of historic property. These unique establishments, and I'm thinking of places like City Cyclery, Grand Cantina, Soda Pop Brothers, and many others, these are the businesses that all offer a mix of character, authenticity, and quality goods and services that help turn neighborhoods into destinations. But you know what? This renewal did not just happen by chance. Ford City's biggest champion is Ward 5 Councillor Ed Sleiman, and he has long been recognized, and he's certainly long recognized himself, the tremendous value and potential of this neighborhood. Council was strategic in approving a number of incentives targeted at attracting ambitious, creative entrepreneurs and developers. In fact, since the Ford City CIP was launched in 2019, City Council approved nearly $300,000 in financial incentives to improve existing residential, commercial, and mixed-use properties here through the Ford City Building Facade Improvement for Main Streets and the Brownfield Community Improvement Plan. And when businesses and homeowners take advantage of these grants, neighbors take notice, and they in turn are encouraged to apply to the Ford City CIP program and improve their own properties. And these council investments certainly have ripple effects. And so I'm pleased today to be joined here, of course, by Councillor Ed Sleiman, Kate Gibb, who's Drouillard Place's Executive Director, Shane Potvin, who is the Chair of the Ford City BIA. James Chaco is here. James is Windsor's Senior Manager of Parks, and there are many others, of course, who have also played a pivotal role in reviving and strengthening this neighborhood. And we're here to celebrate the completion of a number of upgrades at Garry Dugal Park. As the pandemic has shown us, public parks and green spaces, places like the Ford City Community Garden, the Parkettes, and certainly Garry Dugal Park are essential to building vibrant, healthy, and happy communities. In fact, Council has invested more than $17.5 million this year alone towards fixing up and improving our parks and trails as we continue to raise the quality of life for residents across all wards within the city of Windsor. Garry Dugal Park, well, this park is at the heart of Ford City, and the residents here certainly deserve this upgrade. And now I'd like to welcome Councillor Ed Sleiman to talk more about the many improvements that he's helped fund here in this park and this ward. Ed?
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm so proud to join Mayor Dilkens to speak on behalf of my colleagues on City Council and to represent my home community, Windsor Ward 5. Today is really about celebrating further investment in the renewal of Ford City. To understand the impact, I want to talk first about Ford City itself. In 2016, at the premiere of the Rediscovering Ford City video, Mayor Dilkens shared a quote that have stayed with me for years to come. It comes from the former U.S. Deputy Chief Technology Officer, Jennifer Polka, who said, "When one neighbor helps another, we strengthen our community." Ford City and Garry Dugal, the man after whom this amazing park is named, are real-life examples of how true that statement is. In the early 20th century, Ford Motor Company helped build this Company's Town. We call it Company's Town because of the proximity right to the heart of Ford City. It stimulated the economy, employed a huge workforce, and grew the population quickly. When the Riverside Drive plant closed, that forward momentum have stopped. Ford City was faced with many significant challenges from then on, and residents have embraced those challenges every step of the way. Ford City has always been home to the very people that helped to shape it. They built homes, raised families, and created a neighborhood for us to love. Many of their descendants are still here today, and Fort City is alive with the same spirit that built it. We are fueled by the drive to reinvent, strengthen, and draw new people in. Our residents, business owners, and community groups find amazing ways to engage people living here and to attract those coming to visit. Some organize and host festivals. Some plant community gardens, open in new businesses, and transform alley into outdoor art galleries. Some, like me, advocate for the neighborhood every day, with every decision, and always look for ways to make things even better. Together, we all make Fort City stronger. Neighborhoods need all of us to grow. They need all the municipal support services we can provide. I am very proud of the work the City of Windsor and City Council continue to do to invest in this community. Over the years, investment have focused on infrastructure improvement to road, BIA improvement to make the area more welcoming, facility upgrade to improve recreation offering, and park enhancement that transform outdoor spaces like Garry Dugal Park. Today, we are celebrating about $400,000 being invested to enhance this park. I am proud to have used some of my own, it's not my own, it's city's funds, some of my ward fund for this important project. We have added shade sails, enhanced the activity space, fixed up gazebos with paint and lighting, and improved electrical access. We have added picnic tables, new fencing, and relocated 150 commemorative bricks. Over the last 3 years alone, we have installed a large, modern, fully accessible play structure with rubber surface and swing set. That's the one you're looking behind me. We have renovated surfaces to basketball and tennis court. We have also added new accessible benches and new bicycle racks and expanded the green space to connect the east and west end of the park. I said that Fort City is great because of the people who have built it. I want to end by talking about Garry Dugal. When he was alive, Garry was the president of the Fort City Resident in Action Committee. He brought Fort City residents together for barbecues in the park where he served hot dog and ice cream to neighborhood kids. He once told me that his reward was seeing the children smile while they are together, played together, watched the fireworks together at the park. Garry wanted to leave things better than he found them. That's what brought him to this park every day. He would pick up garbage, branches of trees, and anything he found on the ground. He would bring his dog, the two of them walking together, becoming part of this park history. On August the 8th of 2012, Garry passed away suddenly in this park, beneath this gazebo, right at this location here where we are. His dog was with him. It sat down and stayed beside him until emergency crew arrived. Garry loved Fort City, and he loved this park. So in 2013, I put forward motion, and we renamed the park in his honor as the gentle giant who helped care for it. Hundreds of people, including his families, were here when we renamed the park and planted a tree in his honor. We all cheered for him, and we agreed that he would hope to see younger generations step in to continue his effort to improve the Fort City neighborhood. Today, we are celebrating enhancement to the park at the heart of Fort City. These improvements will have a real impact on the individuals, families, businesses, and community groups that are working to build an even better neighborhood. Today, Our hope is alive as Mayor Dilkens and I stand here with Kate and Shane. Where are you here? Yeah. Today, Garry Dugal legacy lives on. I really want to thank City Council for ongoing investment in our park and recreation asset. I thank all the neighborhood of Fort City who help one another time after time to strengthen this community. There is something where I just want to add to it, really, is beyond my speech. I do work hard for not just for Fort City, for Ward 5 as well. I do the best I can for it. And by myself, it's really difficult for any councillor to do the thing he wanted to do. I'll give most of the credit that I usually have to our Mayor Dilkens. He helped me every step of the way. And when I run into obstacle, I go to see him. I knock on his doors. I talk to him. I walk into his office until he gets tired of me. So I just want to give him credit for what we have done here at Fort City. And thank you all.
Well, thank you very much, Councillor Sleiman. And, you know, this particular part of town I really love, and it was really born out of the 2 years that I spent as a lifeguard working at the then Holy Rosary Community Center with the community here. And this is a real special place to me as well. But as much as I love this place, you have no better champion, and there's no person who loves the Drulard Road area more than Councillor Ed Sleiman. And I can tell you he's one of the hardest working councillors. You will find his car at City Hall often before I arrive, and sometimes later after I leave. His car is still parked there, likely 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. And he is, like he says, always championing in the office, always advocating and championing for things to happen in Ward 5, but especially this particular neighborhood. And I think as evidence of the commitment that he has as a councillor, let me share a story with you. That it came to my attention a year, maybe 2 years ago, from his brother who told me that Ed had a brain bleed and was taken to the hospital. And so I thought to myself, and he's in the intensive care unit. And of course, I'm worried right away for Ed. So I thought, you know what, I don't think his wife will be at home. No one will be at home. So I'll try and call Ed's cell phone, thinking his wife probably has it and will answer. And then I can say, Fran, how's Ed doing, and get an update on Ed. And so I called the cell phone, and to my surprise, Ed answered the cell phone, laying in his ICU bed, not wanting to miss a call, and he had no idea it was me. It could have been a constituent for all he knew. My name doesn't show up on the phone when I call. And so that is a level of dedication. That is just a typical level of dedication that this man shows and the passion he shows for this community. And besides being a champion and an advocate for this community, you know, I've often said he's one of the nicest people I've ever met. And I have said, and I believe it to this day, that if I was driving on the 401 in Toronto and I got a flat tire and I didn't know how to change the tire myself and I couldn't find anyone else to do it, if I called Ed, he would drop what he's doing, drive 4 hours to the 401 to Toronto to help me fix that tire. And I truly believe that. So Ed, thank you for the continued work that you do and the passion you show for the role that you hold. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce Kate Gibb, who's also part of a great organization on Drulard Road. That's Drulard Place. She's the executive director. Welcome, Kate.
Thank you, Mayor Dilkens, Councillor Sleiman, and the City of Windsor Parks and Rec Department for your great contributions, investment, and the work that has been done to the Garry Dugal Park. Drulard Place, the Ford City Residents Association, and our families are very grateful to have this amazing park and the amenities in our Ford City neighborhood. With the recent upgrades that the city has invested in, it is now an even more welcoming area where people feel safer to gather. Over many years, there have been countless events and activities held here that have created such fond memories for area residents, and now with these latest improvements, it is a cleaner, more friendly, and inviting space that will make more memories for our next generation. Thank you to James Chaco and his team for working with our community members to relocate the Ford City Legacy Brick Project into this park. The families and community members enjoy having better access to see the bricks, but also to be a permanent addition to the park. I want to personally thank Councillor Sleiman for his commitment and support to Ford City and advocating on our behalf for the many improvements that have taken place in the Ford City area. We greatly appreciate your willingness to hear our needs and work with us to bring them to fruition. Without the City of Windsor's support, none of this would have been possible, so again, thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Kate. Thank you for being here in those remarks, and thank you for all that you do leading that wonderful organization. And next up, certainly someone who's no stranger to Ford City, the chair of the Ford City BIA, Shane Potvin. Shane.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Kate and Ed. This is a really exciting time for Ford City. As everyone has probably noticed, during even a pandemic, we've seen 10 businesses open in the past year. And this is crazy. We haven't seen this sort of growth in probably 25 years. We saw a lot of, dead space in that time, but, there was a lot of kindling laid down during that time. And we have to thank the city for that, because, that was, even going back 20 years ago, the big reason Ford City is so, people are so attracted to it is because of our murals, because of the city, the landscape, the beautification. And the city put those investments in, up to 20 years ago. The large murals, the park benches. So the stage was really set for us, and through the dedication of the residents, the BIA over the years, there was so much hard work, and so the timing was just right. And I believe, we're starting to see that happen right now. Also on top of this, Councillor Sleiman has been the massive advocate. Being on the BIA, he's a phone call away, and he's always so ready to act, and he's always ready to do something in that moment, which is really great, because some of the progress is about timelines and things happening quickly. And so I can always email Ed, I can call Ed, and he'll hand you the phone and be like, here, talk to this person at the city, and they'll do something about it. So over the past 2 years, it's been a massive pleasure to work with you, because it's that dedication that has helped push things along. We've had the crosswalk at Richmond, which has been really great, because as we know across the city, but traffic calming is a big issue here. So slowing things down has been really important. And then getting a email last week about him pushing the Garry Dugal Park project has been was really great. But there was a lot of collaboration, which is very helpful. Kate was involved, I was involved, James was here, a few other people from the city to open the discussion up to what can we do and what can make this better. And to be honest, this park is one of the better parks in the city. I've had friends, I'll mention it to a friend who has kids, and they'll come here. And to be honest, it's still not without some stigma. So people are like, okay, sure, I'll check it out. And they're like, wow, this is one of the better parks I've ever been to. And so thank you to Councillor Sleiman for that, because it's your vision and your dedication to this neighborhood that has helped make it what it is today. And we wanted to show our appreciation. So we had if you can come over here. So anyways, we just wanted to dedicate this plaque to you. This is just a small token of our appreciation. There's a graphic on the bottom of the parkette itself. And we just wanted to thank you and have something to remember us and the neighborhood by.
Shane, thank you so much. I wasn't expecting anything. I did it because I want to do it. I want to enhance the park. I want to enhance the lives of those people who live here. And by myself, I couldn't do it. I mentioned Drew, but also I should mention all those advocates like Shane, like Kate, everybody else. We work as a team. We work as a group. And thank you again. I appreciate it. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Shane. Okay, that concludes this session. So if there's any questions from the media, we'll be happy to answer them.
Sorry, can you give me a rundown of all the stuff that was done? Or is that in the news release?
Yeah, I was going to ask the same thing.
Same question.
That was a lot.
So the 2021 improvements include the addition of the 2 shade sails over the large concrete pad to expand the sheltered meeting and activity space for community groups, refurbishment of the gazebo, including new paint, additional LED lighting, and an upgraded new electrical panel to give community groups access to more power outlets for cookers, sound systems, 3 new picnic tables, 1 under the gazebo, which will be here, and 2 under the shade sails, new fencing installed to separate the soccer pitch from the shaded sitting area, and the relocation of 150 commemorative bricks now placed near the gazebo.